Well, look who it is. You. The you. If you don't mind, I could do with a significant reduction in the amount of attention this office receives. A visit from the champion is something of the opposite.
I sense I am unwelcome in the halls of power.
Power? I am just the hand on the seal, waxing what I'm told. Now I'm trapped under Templar scrutiny, waiting for them to note how easily I might be replaced.
And it isn't going well?
It is not going well.
I can apply influence in many ways, you know.
Do the words political maelstrom mean anything to you? The Templars are particularly sensitive about destabilizing elements, especially after what happened to Dumas.
The Arashok killed the Viscount, but he's no longer a problem.
There are older hatreds that the Templars feel deserve more central focus. Sometimes I wonder if we're at war with ourselves.
There is no one to carry the last Viscount's line.
You presided over Seamus's death. That was the sad end of the Dumas. When a line is judged unfit or ends, we appoint from Kirkwall's elite. Or we would, if the situation was normal. But it is not.
Who nominates a new Viscount?
A consensus of the nobility, normally, and a willing nominee. Both are lacking, and I can't fault it. These are difficult times.
Could I nominate someone, or do it myself?
Anyone who thinks to take this office needs more than popular support. They need particular support. You are many things, champion, but not this. Not yet, anyway.
Since when are city leaders appointed by the Knight Commander?
Meredith would not openly declare a preference. The rule of Kirkwall is deliberately separate from the Chantry's will. But the Order embodies security in Kirkwall, and they want the new Viscount to be more accepting of oversight. Anyone who wants to rule Kirkwall needs support from the Templars. That is the new truth of this city.
What happens if they don't like the choice?
Do you know how Viscount Dumas' predecessor Perrin Threnhold left office? He was a tyrant, certainly, but his rule was not ended until he actively sought to expel the Templars. The good of all is inexorably tied to what is good for the Templars.
When Viscounts die, it's the sycophants who truly suffer.
If his death was more fresh in my mind, I would give you such a censuring. I can still do that, I think. Each day is fresh insult. Leave me. Do you never intend to give a public answer, Your Grace?
What have I been asked?
About the mages. You could calm this fire if you stepped forward.
The Chantry's teachings are clear. Those who turn against them would not listen more to me than to Andraste.
Mage this, Templar that. Is there anywhere in Kirkwall people don't talk about this?
The last time mages rebelled against the Chantry, they ended up ruling Tevinter. Should we just ignore them?
I knew I liked you.
I did not expect things to deteriorate so fast. I thought after the Canary, no one would wish for more violence. It has drawn more attention than I would like. Sebastian, if I can ask...
Anything, Your Grace.
And the champion, too, if you will?
I can't imagine any way this will go wrong.
What would you have of us?
The Divine is concerned about the situation here. She does not want to see the Free Marches become another Imperium. She has sent an agent to assess the danger. Meet with her, please. Tell her drastic measures won't be required.
I don't want to see the Divine's armies march against Kirkwall.
Surely the Divine wouldn't treat the whole city as enemies.
She is concerned. It is never wise to draw the concern of the powerful.
She is the voice of Andraste. She cannot turn the might of the Chantry against the innocent due to proximity.
Were no innocents harmed in the exalted marches? She will do her best, Sebastian. But she must act first to protect the faith.
What can you tell me about this servant of the Divine?
I was not told her real name. Only to call her Sister Nightingale. She is said to be the Divine's left hand, sent to do work that might blacken the Divine's name.
What argument would convince her?
The Divine has heard my protests already. I must trust your own powers of persuasion now.
This cannot wait.
Thank you. We cannot allow this ridiculous mage rebellion to turn into holy war.
The agent, Sister Nightingale, will be waiting in the Viscount's throne room tonight. She wishes to remain unseen. The room has been sealed since the Canary incident. It may be difficult to get in without attracting attention.
So, even the Divine fears us now. She should. Kill the spies!
The Resolutionists. I might have known they would be part of this. Are you Sister Nightingale? I am. Or you may call me Liliana. The Divine sent me to investigate the possibility of a rebellion here in Kirkwall. I have some experience in unconventional situations. The Liliana? Who accompanied the hero of Ferelden to slay the Archdemon? Ah. I see it will be harder to remain anonymous so near the Ferelden border. Yes, I knew the hero of Ferelden. Perhaps you have heard the songs I wrote of our time together. But that was many years ago. I am working for the Divine now, in Orlais. I had not thought to return to this part of Thedas. Who are the Resolutionists? An offshoot of a fraternity within the Circle of Magi.
Supported by the Magisters.
There's no proof of that.
I bet a lot of mages think they'd enjoy Tevinter's freedoms, and completely forget that few ever achieve the power to enjoy them.
There have always been factions that support freedom from the Chantry, and the abolition of the Circle. We have tolerated them, but the Resolutionists have become violent. They are likely behind the unrest here. I hardly imagined the Divine's secret agent looking like you. That is why I am effective. The Divine has long suspected that Kirkwall's problems were spurred by an outside group. This attack proves she is right. Are you saying you set this whole thing up? I let word slip that an agent of the Divine was coming to investigate the mage troubles. It is how they chose to react which condemns them. Will the Divine send soldiers? Divine Justinia takes the situation here very seriously. She believes it is the worst threat to Thedas since the Cunara invaded.
A handful of apostates? How can that possibly...
The whole world is watching Kirkwall. If it falls to magic, none of us are safe. Tell Elthina to leave. There is refuge for her at the Grand Cathedral in Orlais. She will not be safe here. What would you say to an exciting trip to Orlais? I hear the Grand Cathedral's lovely this time of year.
What?
You were right. The Divine will be taking action against Kirkwall, though the sister didn't say what. You must take the holy relics from the Chantry and leave for safety.
Sebastian, I'm surprised at you. Andraste would not thank me for saving a few dusty finger bones and my own skin at the cost of people's lives.
You keep dead people here.
The Kirkwall Chantry has guarded the remains of the martyr Devrina for 800 years. They must be protected.
When I became Grand Cleric, I took a vow to the people of Kirkwall and the Free Marches. I will not leave my flock.
Would you let yourself die?
There is no greater devotion than to lay one's life at the Maker's feet. There is no better death than to take the blow for another.
You don't hear that one quoted often, do you?
Please, Your Grace. Sister Nightingale thinks there will be war.
Then, I must make peace. Settle yourself, Sebastian. I'm in no personal danger. I am Grand Cleric. Who would dare attack me?
If you will not shield yourself, then I will be your shield. You will come through this safely by the Maker's name. I swear it. If Althena won't leave Kirkwall, neither will I. I can't abandon her when the Divine's own agent warned her away.
How much damage could a few dozen angry mages do anyway?
That's the problem, isn't it? Far more than I ever could. But if these Maleficarum rebel against the Knight Commander, Althena will put herself between them and be torn apart. I must try to make her see reason. This cannot end well.
I hope you haven't come to try to talk me into leaving again. Kirkwall needs a steadying hand on its reins now more than ever. Orsino and the Knight Commander grow more fractious by the day.
Oh, come on. That wouldn't have been half as fun without an audience.
If they had come to blows, this whole city might have erupted. I've been talking with them both. Orsino is not an unreasonable man. Surely a compromise can be reached.
You know, you could go anywhere you like now.
I'm aware of that.
Oh, you could become a raider. You could join my crew.
The crew of your non-existent ship?
Well, with that attitude, you're never going anywhere, are you?
She doesn't understand. Yes, I am free. Denarius is dead. Yet, it doesn't feel like it should.
Seems like you should be dancing for joy.
I would have thought so. I thought if I didn't need to run and fight to stay alive, I would finally be able to live as a free man does. But how is that? My sister is gone, and I have nothing. Not even an enemy.
You're not reminiscing about the good old days of being hunted, I hope.
I wouldn't go that far. It's just difficult to overlook the stain that magic has left on my life. If I seem bitter, it's not without cause. Perhaps it is time to move forward. I just don't know where that leads. Do you?
You're still blaming magic for everything.
Think about it, Hawk. Look at what happened to your mother, your sister, so many others. Is there anyone whose life has been touched by magic that actually benefits?
Blaming magic isn't the answer.
There are problems enough in this world without putting such power in the hands of those too weak to resist its allure. Them I fear, as should you, as should anyone. But what's important now is moving forward. I only wish I knew where that led.
Wherever it leads. I hope it means we'll stay together.
That is my hope as well. We have never discussed what happened between us 3 years ago.
You didn't want to talk about it.
I felt like a fool. I thought it better if you hated me. I deserve no less. But it isn't better. That night, I remember your touch as if it were yesterday. I should have asked your forgiveness long ago. I hope you can forgive me now.
I need to understand why you left, Fenris.
I've thought about the answer 1,000 times. The pain, the memories it brought up, it was too much. I was a coward. If I could go back, I would stay. Tell you how I felt.
What would you have said?
Nothing could be worse than the thought of living without you.
Oh, I don't know. This might be fun to hold over you a while longer.
If there is a future to be had, I will walk into it gladly at your side.
Got a minute, Hawk? I know this is ancient history, but remember that Hightown house Bartrand barricaded himself in? Bartrand doesn't exactly need the place now that he's in the sanitarium. I've been trying to sell it.
I can only imagine there's a huge market for the homes of deranged killers.
Well, the creepy sort of people who are interested are generally not the ones with the coin to take it off my hands. I found a minor noble in Ravane who bought the place sight unseen. But now there's a problem. They say the place is haunted.
If they hadn't seen the place, I'd expect the first complaint to be about the corpses in the hall.
I may have neglected to mention the mansion's colorful past to the buyer. They've noticed some minor problems. Voices whispering in the walls, apparitions, things moving on their own. My hope is it's a relic Bartrand brought back from the Deep Roads. We smash it, and the haunting stops.
What happens if we do nothing?
Best case, they drag me before the Seneschal and accuse me of fraud. The worst case involves Antivan crows.
Can't you do this yourself?
Hawk, I'm a businessman. Now and then, I shoot people. I don't know anything about ghosts or magic. It's entirely possible that even if I find the thing that's causing the trouble, I won't be able to stop it on my own.
I'm not an expert on hauntings, but what if smashing something does not make the problem go away?
That's where things get tricky. You come from a family with magic, Hawk. You must have experience dealing with the weird. I'm sure you'll be able to figure something out that will help.
Very well. We'll investigate the mansion. Again.
Thanks, Hawk. I knew you wouldn't let me down. Look at this. My brother's junk was left here. You wouldn't know it, but Bartrand was a sentimentalist. This came from our estate in Orzammar. When I was 7, I knocked over one of Mother's plates and broke it. My brother yelled at me for an hour.
This was made by the artisans of House Saldras. The clay was from the Adros-Etuna River, which never sees the sun. Arr!
There's no way you're talking about the same Bartrand that I met.
Maker's truth. There were tears in his eyes. I never thought that was possible before. That stupid plate was the whole city of Orzammar to him.
Are you real? You've got to get out of here before it comes back.
Where's the idol?
What idol?
Don't waste my time with your lies. Tell me where it is.
I didn't exactly want to stay for dinner, but I think we've got a few minutes to hear her out.
She's hiding something, Hawk. Don't lie to me. I know it's here. You must have found it.
I swear. I don't know anything about an idol. Please. Maker, no! It's starting again!
Uh-oh. This is a piece of the idol. No, I should have known Bartrand would lie to me. Of course he'd keep a piece of the statue for himself. Think of what we could do with this.
I don't know about you, Varric, but I don't want to end up like Bartrand.
I'm not my brother, Hawk. The idol drove him crazy, but this is just one tiny piece. I need this thing. 6 years of my life have gone into this. The shard is my only hope of curing Bartrand. It's my only chance to set any of this right.
Varric, if you keep that thing, you'll go mad. I'll have to kill you, and Bianca will be heartbroken.
You're not listening, Hawk. I know I can handle this shard.
Acting crazy is not a compelling argument in favor of keeping that accursed thing.
Fine. I don't really want to argue about this anyway. Take it. It's your problem now. Maybe Enchantment Boy can dispose of the thing for you. Let's go. I think I could use some air. Merchant's Guild ledgers. Dwarves fighting over whose ancestors were the dwarfiest, whose gold is the shiniest. I never understood how he could stand it. 5 minutes with them and I need a strong drink.
Everything makes you thirsty. Don't try to blame that on the Dwarven Merchant Guild, Varric.
You might have a point there, Hawk. Bartran wagered everything on the expedition. Everything for the chance to escape the guild. Make enough money and the guild doesn't matter anymore. You're free. Damnation. Let's keep going.
Think you can do something with this, Sandal?
Is that lyrium? I've never seen anything like that.
It's dangerous. Varric suggested Sandal might be able to dispose of it.
I think my boy can do better than that.
Ooh, enchantment.
Come on, Daisy. You've been holed up in here for days. If you don't get some sunshine, you'll wilt.
I'm not a plant, Varric. I'm fine.
Just take a walk around the Lowtown Market. Get some air, and I'll stop bothering you.
I know you mean well, but I have too much to do right now.
I'll let you talk some sense into her, Hawk.
Varric is very sweet. Frequently infuriating and a terrible busybody, but sweet. Were you looking for me? Nothing's wrong, is it?
I'm sure something is wrong somewhere in Kirkwall. But right now, it can wait.
Checking up on me? I suppose you think I might summon an army of demons at any moment. In the market the other day, out of the corner of my eye, I thought I saw Tamlin. I blinked, and he was gone. I don't know what it meant. Maybe nothing. Maybe I'm going mad. I miss them all. Even the Keeper.
You miss Keeper Marathari? Are you feverish? Did you take a blow to the head?
I must have. I even miss her scolding me. I wish I could have seen it. It doesn't matter. I'm here now. Maybe Varric was right. Shall we go out for a bit? I could use some sunshine.
Catastrophe has struck, partner. We are ruined. Ruined!
It's always something with this mine.
A cart came back from the bone pit, half-wrecked, with a dozen mangled bodies. The horse pulling the cart was the only survivor, and it does not speak. Town full of rotten mages, and not one can get answers from a horse.
I'll check it out. You keep interrogating that horse.
I knew I could depend on you. Just like old times, partner.
A dragon attacked your mine. Everyone is dead.
Dear Maker. What of my equipment? Did it seem salvageable?
No. And neither did the workers who died trying to save it.
Oh, my heart. So many years of investment. I am ruined. Ruined! I'm sorry, champion. I appreciate your help, but I sank all my coin into that rotten mine. I have nothing left to pay you.
Give me the bone pit. Perhaps in a few years I can get it back in order.
What? Ha! Fine, take it. I wash my hands of this cursed venture.
Listen, Hawk. I don't know what came over me back there in Bartran's house. I'm glad you're watching my back.
That's what I'm here for. That and doing all the fighting.
You know what I like about you, Hawk? Your humility. What are you having? Edwina, let's get a couple of drinks here.
I'm sure the furniture's very sorry for whatever it did, old boy. All right, let's see.
Please don't open the door.
You've caught a burglar. Good boy.
My legs are cramping. Please, just let me go.
You expect me to just let you walk out of here?
Please, sirrah. I was seduced by a crime at a very young age, but your guard monster has scared me towards a path of honest work.
I'll give you to the count of 5 before I sick my Mabari on you.
What? Surely you wouldn't.
1.
But...
2. 3, 4, 5. Make sure our guest leaves quickly.